Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Now this is a GW Tiger P, the Tier 8 German SPG, and we're located on the north spawn of Fisherman's Bay. And the commander is BigEIO. No, I don't understand it either, but okay, we'll just call him Big from now on, or Mr. Big. And you can see he's got 3 marks of excellence, or not 3 marks, sorry, a mark of excellence on his barrel. So he knows how to play this Arty. Now, what can I tell you about the Tiger P? Well, it was designed on the chassis of the failed contestant for the Tiger competition. The Porsche chassis with the electric engine driven by a generator. Except, of course, here it's round the other way, because the engine's at the front and the gun's at the back. But it was still driven by the Porsche design. They were going to build these, but they never got around to it because they actually were using the chassis for building the Ferdinand, which is otherwise known as the Elephant. Now, it carries 2 different guns. The stock gun is a 17cm Canon 72. And the top gun is a 21cm Morsa 18/1. The main difference is that the other gun, the top gun, will do 250 hit points more damage per shot. But you do have to wait for a longer reload. Okay, he's just setting himself up to fire at the enemy. And yep, it looks like he's got an E25 there behind the rock. And there's a T-34 at the back. Now, which one's he going to go for? I think he likes the look of that T-34. It's a medium tank. They've got lesser armor, which means that when you hit them, you'll do a lot more damage. The unfortunate thing about that other tank hiding behind the wall was that it's more difficult to damage them when you're just dealing with splash. And that IKV is getting assaulted pretty heavily. And there's a couple of tank destroyers at the back here. Scorpion G and an SU. And the Scorpion G makes a much nicer target. It's got a much better gun than the SU-100. Round out. And that's a big hit. He hit both of them. 520 hit points off the Scorpion. 145 on the SU-100. And he's picking up stun assist as well. And I'm sure his team are going to be very happy to take advantage of that situation. It looks like the enemy's having a hell of a time trying to stop the assault from going through. They've just lost a bat chat. There's a black dog down there, the girlfriend. And I'm sure that he's going to get that the last shot at the SU-100. Okay, now he's aiming at targets in the city. We've got a Tiger 1 and the KV-85. I think he's going to go for the Tiger 1 first, but he's going to have to let the aim dial in because he can't fire it with it. Oh, he did. He fired unaimed or undialed in, and as a result, the shell has gone astray. So he's now going to have to wait for the reload cycle to go through. And unfortunately, we've got nobody over that side of the battlefield, so we can't spot the enemy now. That's a major problem. That Scorpion G is also putting up a good fight. No, he's gone down now. So once that they've dealt with that SPIC, we're looking at now. If they can deal with him, they've got the free reign of the cap. And that means the enemy's going to have to turn around and go back, or they're going to be a whole heap of trouble. Now he's looking for the enemy Arty in that corner of the map. That's where they should be. But we know that the enemy heavy force is on the east side of the map, and they're probably coming up the north area. Yes, there's the 3001P. He's been spotted. It's on the minimap. You're not looking at him. Come on, Big. You need to look at that VK. There you are. That's better. The trouble is, he's in the dip, and that ridgeline is causing him problems. He's going to have to back up in order to shoot at that VK and the Tiger 1. Well, the VK's actually gone down, so he doesn't need to shoot that, but he does need to fire at the KV-85, and he did, and he got him. And that was a clutch shot as well. And there's the Tiger 1, and he's taken out as well. Killed by the Scorpion G. So they've blunted their main force for the moment, but the attack force that went down the west side of the battlefield, they were completely wiped out. So we've lost sight of the SPIC. We've got a T-34-100 up on the midline in the village. And we know there's 3 enemy RT about. Now, one of those enemy RT, or those enemy RT have to be on the east side of the battlefield, because they did get as far south, right at the back. Oh, the SPIC just took out that IKV. So we know that the RT is not on the west side of the battlefield. That means they must be on the K line or the J line on the east side of the battlefield. Now he's looking over the east side at the moment, but I don't think he really should be looking there, because my reasoning is that there's nobody to spot for him, so nobody will see anything there. And what he needs to do is look for tracer. Look for the tracer of the enemy RT as they fire. That T-34-100 is going to be spotting for his RT. And so will the SPIC as well when he moves up the battlefield. So we really need to look for the white tracer from the smoke trails from the RT when he fires. And the Scorpion G just took out the SPIC. So that's one less spotter for the enemy RT to work with. Again, he's looking at the town centre, and it's not the area we should be looking in. I don't think enemy RT is going to be in the town. Right, there's the Tiger 131. So the enemy, he came all the way back and went around and come back up again. And he just took a massive great hit from the Scorpion G, and he's been taken out by the box tank, who's in hiding at the back. Right, and that was enemy RT firing in there. And the enemy RT just... Oh, that was the Lorraine 551 just took out the Scorpion G. So all 3 enemy RT were focusing on the Scorpion G at that moment. And if he'd been looking in the bottom east corner of the map, he probably would have seen the tracer from those RTs and been able to counter them. Now, counter battery is going to become incredibly important in update 1.0. This replays from update 9.21. And the reason I say that is because in update 1.0, tracer will become incredibly more visible. You'll see a little flash from the shell as it's leaving the gun. The shell will shine brightly as it leaves the tube, and therefore if you want to locate the enemy RT, all you need to do is look for that little bright flash as it shoots out. And I can't say I'm too happy about that, but oh, there's the T-34-100. Now this has put Big in a bit of a situation, because he might be visible to that T-34. He's out in the open. He's counting at this moment on that that T-34-100 to pop his nose up instead of popping down the other side. Now the Su-100 is probably watching the other side just in case. But nobody will be watching on the east side of the map. The box tank said to the heavy, to the KV-2, go to the east side of the map. And that's a wise decision. Now that KV-2 is being a bit silly, because if he's spotted, enemy RT will be on him in a second. And the T-34-100 may see him as he gets close. Now in the battle assistant we can just hear him moving up. And I think the box tank is very upset about this. He's saying rude words. This could be catastrophic if the T-34 spots the KV-2. Enemy RT will be firing in seconds. We can hear explosions. So I think all of the enemy RT are very, very active trying to take out the Su-100. And I suspect the T-34-100 may have retreated, knowing he was trapped. There he is. It's unfortunate because now he's going to be spotting for his own Arty. Oh, he fired anticipating he was going to pull forward. He didn't. I do hope that KV2 realises that the reason he's stunned at the moment because he went out in the open, he was seen. If you're a tank driver, you must be aware of where you can be spotted, because that's the reason why Arty can fire at you, because we can see you. You don't blame the Arty for being for shooting what they can see. You must blame yourself. And yes, the Lorraine 15551 takes out the KV2. You have to take responsibility, and it's a fantastic shot there from Mr. Big. He took out the C34-100. So he's still got his box tank teammate. And it appears now, because the enemy are now blind, they don't know where he is. Unless the T-34-100 told them from where he was shooting, all he'll know is it was from the west side of the map. But there's the Lorraine 15551, the one who's a really good shooter, and he's coming up on the box tank. And unfortunately, Mr. Big is still not loaded, and he's got the ridgeline against him. But he doesn't need to worry, because the SU-100 has got a fantastically powerful gun, and he's taken out that target. Oh no, we lost the box tank! The box tank was taken out by the GW Panther. Now, Mr. Big is using 2 rounds of premium ammo. He's not going to fire at the same time, but he's got 2 rounds of premium ammo. Got a bigger splash. So I think he's loaded those to ensure that if he is going to fire at the enemy, he wants to make sure the splash will have enough effect if he misses. He'll also have a lot more damage potential to the target when he gets it near. Now, I wouldn't go directly to the target because one of the Arties might be spotting for the other one. But like that Lorraine 15551, I suspect the enemy Arty is at this moment positioning themselves so one can spot whilst the other one shoots, and vice versa. So they'll be watching for him. And even though Arty has a very poor view range, the fact of the matter is the GW Tiger P is a big Arty. So it's going to be easy for them to see. And once he is seen, if his sixth sense goes off, he's going to have to motor and move in a way that actually avoids them getting a direct aim at him or a direct shot at him. And the way to do that is go crossways in front of the target. So keep changing their angle of approach. He has been seen. One of them is spotting for him. No, he's doing the wrong thing. You need to keep moving. You can't sit there because that just make you an even better target for them. Yep, here's a round's just come in. Now you know where he is, and they will just keep hitting him. He's just received a hit from the M44. He cannot sit there. He has to move. He will be killed. Okay, wait for the track to go up, but the M44 is going to fire again very shortly. They know where he is. It appears to be the GW Panther that's spotting whilst the M44 goes through the city. The M44 is by far the more mobile of the two Arties, so it would make sense for the M44 to head north. But he needs to hunt down that. There's the GW. Okay, he was spotting. Line up a shotgun. Hit him direct. Auto aim. And he does. He takes him out. 360 hit points, but he needs to keep moving. He needs to get out from behind that rock. And the enemy is capping. Now, he can jump into the cap, and then he can use his gun to get a reset. He's got a bigger footprint than the M44, and it's going to be more difficult for the M44 to shoot him. If he can tempt the M44 into shooting at him, there he is. There's the tracer. We know where he is. Now get into the cap and shoot. Round out. And he's killed him! Oh my gum! He was so lucky to get that. He did spot it. I spotted it as well. But he was so lucky. He should have moved into the enemy cap to start the cap, then got a reset after he'd been in there a few seconds, and that would have guaranteed that there's no way the M44 would have been able to get or would have been able to stop the cap succeeding before he could cap out. He would have to come back to try and or to shoot at the cap in random until the end of the battle. But well done, and congratulations to Mr. BigEIO for succeeding in that battle and managing to kill the enemy. I really didn't think he could do that, but he did. So congratulations. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's a third class tanker for Mr. BigEIO. He also managed to pick up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11. He picked up a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, and that's exactly what he did get, but I'm afraid that's all the medals he succeeded with in this battle. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he managed to get third highest damage, 1,776 hit points. He was beaten by the box tank and the Scorpion G. He got the highest number of kills on his team, 4 kills, and he got the second highest base XP at 761. He fired 7 rounds, got 2 direct hits, 2 penetrations, and 5 splash. He did damage of 1,776 hit points, of which 1,416 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit, 1 penetration, that was from the M44, and 1 hit as a result of splash damage. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, that was the GW Panther, and he damaged 7 of the enemy and killed 4 of them. He did damage assistance of 171 hit points and stun assistance of 253 hit points off 3 stuns. And he managed to get 36 defense points when he killed the M44 in the cap. On a premium account, he earned 32,927 credits, but because he was using his premium ammo virtually all the way through that battle, he actually ended up with a huge charge for ammunition resupply, which meant that he actually ended up with a deficit of 4,574 credits. Now, there's some debate over whether or not using premium ammo all the way is beneficial. Some players find that it does work for them, but I find that on the whole you can conduct the battle pretty well with standard ammo if you know where to place the shot. Anyway, he received 1,142 XP, and it was times 2 for the first victory of the day, so he managed to take away 2,284 XP altogether. So yes, it was a very good game, and yes, the enemy did lose the game, but they did because they didn't move. They fired, they took a shot when they couldn't see. He fired blind. He couldn't see where Big was. I guess he was just firing at the position that the GW Panther had seen him in, but it was a big mistake for the M44 to take that shot when he had no clear idea where the enemy Arty was. The other side of the point is that, as he said, you should move the moment you fire. If you're in a counter-battery position like that, if there is an enemy Arty at the other end, you have to move because they will be able to fire at you. There are circumstances where you can fire at the other end and not move, but that's only if the opponent is not an Arty and they can't fire that distance. Then it's perfectly okay for you to stay still in the cap and shoot. So well done, BigEIO. I'm pleased that you managed to get the victory there. It was an amazing shot, very lucky, but you did see where the tracer came from and you zeroed in on it straight away, and it'll be a lot easier to do that in update 1.0 because it's going to make it a lot brighter, those tracers, when they're fired. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in our next video.